he did a presentation, and it's about what "so it is" means and where it comes from. So it's really cool. And a lot of you probably have not seen it, but I thought it would be wonderful for us to hear this. And so Roxy, if you want to bring up his PowerPoint. And it should show, yeah,
Oh,
right
it
there.
shows right.
So it shows right there, absolutely.
Thank you, and don't worry, I'm not going to upstage the Reverend. I promise, 4 words, 4 slides, 10 minutes. I'm
Oh,
going to take away from Kylie here. That's wonderful. Congratulations. When I first started attending here years ago, I remember during the first service I heard those words, "and so it is." And I thought, what the heck what are they doing? I mean, I'm a Christian, and I come from a background of Protestant churches where you say, Amen. So this was new to me. It just sounded vaguely archaic and kind of poetic. I just didn't know what it means. But I forgot about it. I don't know if anyone else has even thought about it. We just say it. But then again, the scholar in me kicked in, and I said, you know what? I need to look into this, and I did. Okay. Oh, sorry.
oh, next
So
one.
it is.
And so it is?
Well, let's see. Today I wanted to talk about manifestation, because it has a lot to do with that. Considering the phrase we in our prayers and sermons what we end with, and so it is. In Christian churches, it's customary in contemporary English to end prayers with a hearty Amen, a word meaning so be it in Latin, derived from Hebrew, the Hebrew word for certainty. Thus, the congregation saying Amen is literally saying so be it. The word mote is an archaic verb that means may or might, and traces back to Old English. The phrase, so mote it be, you've probably heard of that. If there are any English lit majors, I know you have. Meaning, so may it be, which is the same as so be it. According to Webster's dictionary, the word mote was originally a Saxon verb, which meant must. It appears back in the poetry of Geoffrey Chaucer, more English lit background here. I had to read that every poem in the Canterbury Tales. And he used those words in the introduction. The words mote be cousin to the deed in the prologue. And that was written in 1387, 1400, late 1300s. So slide 3. I had read this phrase in relation to magical practices. That's kind of where it clicked on. I've heard this before. In modern Wiccan traditions, the phrase often appears as a way of wrapping up a ritual or magical workings is how it's ended. It's basically a way of saying amen or so it shall be. So a statement of certainty that this is already done. So mote it be in Masonic tradition, occultist Aleister Crowley, bad boy of late 1800s, a member of the English esoteric order, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, who originated the Thoth Tarot deck. Used so mote it be in some of his writings and claimed it to be an ancient and magical phrase. But it is very likely that he borrowed it from the Masons. And this would be, there it is, already up. And Freemasonry, so mote it be, is the equivalent of amen, or as God wills it to be. Gerald Gardner, founder of modern Wiccan, who also believed to have Masonic connections, although there are some questions as to whether he was a master Mason, as he claimed to be. Regardless, it's no surprise that the phrase turns up in contemporary pagan practice, considering the influence that the Masons had on both Gardner and Crowley. The phrase "so mote it be" may first have appeared in a poem called the Halliwell Manuscript of Regis Point, describing one of the old charges of Masonic tradition. So this is the source for the Masons. It's not clear who wrote the poem. It passed through various people until it found its way into the Royal Library and finally into the British Museum in 1757. The poem, written around 1390, includes 64 pages and written in rhyming couplets in Middle English. Lovely to read those. Play after play of Shakespeare and, a paragraph and then 3 pages of notes on what the heck that meant.
Exactly.
Anyway, claims that the craft of masonry came to England during the time of King Aldestan during the 900s. Aldestan, the poem explains, developed 15 articles and 15 points of moral behavior for all masons. According to the Masonic Grand Lodge of British Columbia, the Halliwell manuscript is the oldest genuine record of the craft of Masonic masonry known. The poem, however, refers back to an even older manuscript. The poem is now housed in the British Museum in London. The final lines, I'm not sure what slide we're on. This looks right. Oh, here it is. No, this is it. The final lines of the manuscript, translated from Middle English, read as follows. And there it is up on the screen. Christ, then of his high grace, save you both wit and grace. Well this book to know and read, heaven to have for your meed. Left an old English word in there, made a reward. Amen, amen, so mote it be, so say we all for charity. Thus, Freemasons today end their prayers the same way they did in 1390. The next time you're in a lodge, you say, so mote it be, after the chaplain finishes the prayer, remember that you are continuing a 600-year Masonic tradition. Okay, so last slide. The phrase, and so it is, embodies a sense of embodies a sense of acceptance, finality, and affirmation. This is how we see it. It serves as a declaration that something has come to pass or that a certain truth cannot be denied. It signifies faith and trust in a higher power, affirming that the desired outcome has already been granted or will inevitably come to pass. So it's good to examine the language we use in talking about the divine, and so it is our declaration that our prayers and goals have been given over to the divine and will come to pass.
And so it is.
And so it is.
That was great. Thank you, Brian.